Al Capone, Pablo Escobar, who says only men can be bad? Here are a few dangerous, conniving women that play just as rough as the boys. Griselda Blanco. Griselda Blanco, known as the Black Widow or the Godmother of Cocaine, was a drug lord for the Colombian Medellin cartel throughout the 70s and early 80s. Blanco helped smuggle massive amounts of cocaine from Colombia to the United States, making her a billionaire. She is suspected of having conducted over 200 murders throughout her reign. She managed to escape authorities until 1985 when she was arrested in California. She served only 10 years in prison after being deported back to Colombia, where she was eventually gunned down by 2 men in 2012. Melissa Calderón. At just 30 years of age, Melissa La China Calderón had become the top worker for the Sinaloa cartel, Mexico's most powerful organized crime group. She worked for 10 years as an assassin and quickly rose up the ranks because of her ruthlessness. She formed her own cartel and garnered more than 300 followers who dominated parts of Mexico. She often posed in photos with her many guns and is said to be responsible for approximately 180 kidnappings and murders, after which Calderón is said to have dumped her victims' bodies on their families' doorsteps. In 2015, her fellow assassin boyfriend turned her into police to receive a reduced prison sentence. Maria Licciardi. Maria Licciardi was known as the Big Boss of the Camorra, one of the largest criminal organizations in Italy. She was born into a family of criminals. All her brothers and even her husband were Camorra members. Throughout the 90s, Maria expanded the heroin and cocaine drug trade and got her family involved in the prostitution business. She bought girls from the Albanian mafia, put them on the street, and kept them drugged so they wouldn't run away or become informants. When the girls became too old, she had them killed. When police were hot on her trail, she went into hiding until her capture in 2001. It is said that although she is in prison, Licciardi is still in command of her clan. Samantha Lewthwaite. Raised a Christian in the UK and converting to Islam at 17, Samantha Lewthwaite is one of the Western world's most wanted terrorism suspects. Known as the White Widow, she has been accused of causing the deaths of more than 400 people in terrorist attacks around Europe and other parts of the world. Her husband blew himself up on the London Tube in the 2005 attacks. She is wanted by Interpol and is currently believed to be in Syria, training women for suicide missions and aiding in the beheading propaganda videos. Claudia Ochoa Felix. Dubbed the Kim Kardashian of crime, Claudia Ochoa Felix sports bikinis and stilettos and just so happens to conduct a few crimes along the way. She heads the drug trafficking hit squad Los Antrax, a Mexican gang whose assassins are some of the most feared in the world. She is known for living luxuriously and posting provocative photos on social media, with her gun collection making frequent appearances. Claudia denies her involvement in the cartel and claims that she does not run any of the social media accounts with these supposed photos of her. Strong sources from Mexico say otherwise, and the fact that many photos, including one of her son covered in bank bills, have been posted and then subsequently removed, only raise suspicion. Angie San Clemente Valencia. Colombian Angie San Clemente Valencia was enjoying the high life as an internationally acclaimed model until she was arrested on drug trafficking charges in 2010. When Valencia ended her romantic relationship with a Mexican cartel leader, she went into business on her own, leading a ring of fashion models to smuggle cocaine between South America and Europe via Mexico, paying them $5,000 per trip for their services. Valencia to this day denies the accusations, saying her Argentinian boyfriend was involved with drug trafficking, but not her. Enough evidence had been found to put the former model in jail for 6 years, though she only ended up serving half her time. Once released, she was deported back to Colombia and barred from ever re-entering Argentina. Sandra Avila Beltran. Sandra Avila Beltran is one of few women to rise to such a high position of power within a Mexican cartel. Known as the Queen of the Pacific, she served as a link between Mexican and Colombian drug cartels, transporting massive amounts of cocaine. She married twice. Both men were ex-police officers turned drug traffickers who were mysteriously killed. Word has it they were murdered by hired assassins. She was arrested in 2007 on drug trafficking charges, and after a lengthy, confusing conviction attempt, Beltran denied the charges and struck a plea deal, serving a rather luxurious limited prison sentence, even getting Botox behind bars. Maria Jimenez. At age 26, Maria Jimenez, known as La Tosca, or the Tough One, headed a hit squad for Mexico's Las Zetas drug cartel and was considered Mexico's deadliest female assassin, having admitted to over 20 murders, including rival drug traffickers and a police officer, as well as being involved with drug dealing and kidnapping. She didn't hesitate to take out anyone who stood in her way, but it was game over when in 2012, Jimenez was caught in an unlicensed van that matched the description of a stolen vehicle. Raffaella Dalterio. Raffaella Dalterio is an Italian mafia godmother who was the leader of a group within the Camorra family of Napoli, Italy. She was an ordinary housewife until entering the mob in 2006 after her husband, a Camorra member, was shot and killed. She took over her husband's affairs in drug trafficking, extortion, and counterfeit money production, earning billions of dollars a year. When an attempt was made on her life, she survived the gunshot wounds and was given the nickname Miconia, meaning the big female kitten, because she seemed to have 9 lives. In 2012, authorities raided the homes of the Dalterio syndicate, arresting Raffaella and 65 others linked to her. They seized about $20 million worth of cars and properties. Anna Chapman. In 2010, Anna Chapman was arrested in New York for working as a spy for the Russian government. She was a sleeper agent who slowly integrated herself into New York's business and nightclub circles, blending in as a seemingly normal citizen. It is still unclear what exactly Chapman had been able to uncover, but it is said that she was a real-life femme fatale and Bond girl, using her sexuality and seductive ways to gain information. Upon being deported back to Russia after her arrest, she became a celebrity, playing up her sexy spy image to become a runway and lingerie model, even posing for Russian Maxim magazine.